Y'all, stop whatever you're doing and grab your popcorn because the streets of Harlem just got messy. Chrissy Lampkin didn't just pack her bags, she packed receipts, rage, and 18 years of silence and walked straight into divorce court, like it was the Met Gala. And where was Jim Jones? Oh baby, he was on Instagram Live ugly crying into a Hennessy bottle like it was the Last Supper. What happened? What didn't happen? A burner phone under the studio floorboard? Anonymous voicemails from women with tear-stained receipts. And a black screen Instagram story that triggered more chaos than Beyoncé dropping lemonade. You thought this was just another celebrity breakup. Oh no. This is a full-blown reality TV Armageddon wrapped in lies, betrayal, and one man's complete inability to keep it zipped. Did Chrissy catch him in the act? Or was this a slow boiling, scandalous chess move she's been planning for years? And why is VH1 scrambling like roaches under fluorescent light? Something exploded behind closed doors, and now the internet has front row seats. So buckle up because what we're about to uncover will make love and hip-hop look like Sesame Street. This ain't a breakup, this is a televised downfall. Let's take it from the top because this ain't just teats boiling lava. The internet was still busy arguing about Kanye's latest rant when Chrissy Lampkin dropped a plot twist that shut everything down. Sis walked into that courthouse like Olivia Pope with receipts stacked higher than Jim's faded promises. And Jim? This man had the audacity to go live while wiping tears off his chin with the same hand he used to text his ex from a burner phone. That's not just messy. It's reality the finalean real-life messy. You ever seen a grown man cry on live while trying to act like it's allergies? Yeah, it was that kind of moment. You couldn't even look into the camera without stuttering. She really left. He whispered like the ghost of loyalty past, just punched him in the throat. And that's when the questions started flying. What really went down because the way Chrissy moved? That wasn't a reaction, that was a strategy. Turns out she'd been planning this exit like a military operation. Down to the minute she walked out that courtroom and dropped her location in front of Jim's mama. Not metaphorically, literally. Witnesses say Mama Jones showed up demanding answers, and Chrissy didn't flinch. She just handed her a manila folder and said, "Ask your son." Mic drop. Scene done. But let's rewind a little, shall we? This mess didn't start overnight. No, this was 18 years in the making. It's 18 years of waiting for a ring, waiting for respect, waiting for Jim to grow up, and he gave her a burner phone and a side chick in return. A burner phone, by the way, that Chrissy found herself when she decided to clean out the studio one afternoon and noticed a panel on the floor wasn't screwed in tight. Curiosity didn't kill the cat, it exposed the clown inside the panel. A cheap prepaid phone buzzing non-stop. Chrissy picked it up, saw wifey flash across the screen, and baby, it wasn't her number. That's when the real show began. She didn't scream, she didn't throw the phone, she called the number, and when the woman answered with, "Hey, baby," Chrissy said, "Wrong baby," and hung up. 3 hours later, the screenshots started flooding in, texts, selfies. Audio messages of Jim whispering sweet nothings about how Chrissy's just for TV. The same Chrissy who put her entire life on pause for this man. The same Chrissy who proposed to him on national television while he stood there blinking like someone just asked him to solve a math problem. Yeah, that one. And guess what? That wasn't even the worst part. The girl from the burner phone wasn't alone. No, ma'am. Turns out, Jim's been allegedly holding secret reunions with multiple exes across the country like it's some twisted R&B comeback tour. Miami, Atlanta, even a quick stop in Houston. And no, it wasn't for a concert. We're talking 5-star hotels, spa packages, matching hoodies, and the receipts. Baby Chrissy got them all. How? Because she hired a private investigator months ago. Yep, while Jim was busy playing the loyal rapper online. Chrissy was playing FBI. This pie had drones, flight trackers, and even tapped into hotel camera footage. That's how she got the video of Jim in a hotel suite in Miami. shirtless, glass of champagne in hand, feeding strawberries to a woman that was definitely not Chrissy. The same weekend, he told Chrissy he was visiting his sick aunt. No one in Jim's family is even from Miami. Make it make sense. But it gets deeper. Because right after that video leaked, Chrissy stopped answering Jim's calls. That's when he spiraled. He went on Livy's Red, voice cracking, and said, "If I could go back, I would. I didn't think she'd actually leave." And as he tried to explain himself, someone in the background whispered, "Stop talking. She watching." Viewers caught it, paused, rewound, analyzed. It wasn't Chrissy's voice, it was her, the same woman from the burner phone. So now, not only is Jim crying on live, he's crying next to the girl he got caught with. Like, who does that? The clown behavior was Olympic level at this point. And if you think Chrissy was somewhere sobbing into a pillow, think again. That same night, she went silent online, unfollowed Jim, deleted every couple photos, then posted one single black screen on her Instagram story with the words, "I choose me." Finally, the internet went feral. Tweets flying, memes rolling in. People saying she should have left years ago. And let's be honest, they weren't wrong. Chrissy gave that man 2 decades of her life, and he gave her embarrassment in 4K. And while fans rallied behind her, producers at VH1 were reportedly losing their minds. Why? Because Chrissy had signed a deal last year for a major wedding special. Oh yeah, the producers were banking on a love and hip-hop wedding finale, complete with guest stars, throwback montages, and Mama Jones doing too much at the reception. But now, that entire storyline is dead. And Chrissy wants all her footage from the last 2 seasons removed. VH1 is scrambling. Contracts are being pulled. NDAs are flying like confetti. Because if Chrissy speaks on what happened behind those cameras, a whole empire could crumble. Remember that little rumor about Jim allegedly paying off a crew member to delete footage of him leaving a hotel at 3 a.m.? Yeah, that wasn't a rumor anymore. An anonymous source who may or may not have been on payroll leaked a statement saying Jim offered a substantial cash incentive to make footage disappear. The network's scrambling to verify. But if it's true, that's tampering. And Chrissy, she kept receipts, screenshots of conversations, proof of payments, and a time-stamped message from a showrunner saying, "We'll take care of it." The irony. Jim spent years trying to control the narrative. And now it's crashing down around him, while Chrissy's sipping cocktails in a Tribeca loft. But wait, you thought that was the end? Oh no. Baby, we're just getting started. Because the final twist of this act came when Chrissy's legal team revealed they had uncovered a separate bank account funded by joint income, but listed under Jim's mother's name. That's right, a slush fund. Chrissy believes Jim was planning to cut and run, stacking cash in a hidden account while pretending everything was fine at home. She confronted him in a recorded phone call and said, "So you were planning your escape while I was planning our future." Jim's response? Silence, followed by a hang-up. No denial, no explanation, just guilt hanging heavy through the static. And that's when Chrissy knew this wasn't just cheating. This was betrayal on every level, emotionally, financially, publicly. And honey, when a woman's fed up, especially a woman with access to lawyers, footage, and 10 million followers, that's not a breakup, that's war. And just when y'all thought Chrissy might let it slide, she flipped the script like a plot twist in a Tyler Perry finale. According to what we allegedly got from a burner Instagram account that mysteriously vanished within an hour, Chrissy's been secretly compiling a pain portfolio. Yep, an entire Dropbox full of screenshots, voice notes, location pings, and what appears to be a voice memo of Jim whispering sweet nothings to someone named Keisha from Zone 6. The file was reportedly titled, "When Real Love Ain't Real," poetic and petty. Now, let's talk about the surveillance footage. Because, yes, Chrissy reportedly had a mini nanny cam disguised as a smoke detector in their bedroom. And no, it wasn't for safety. Word on the virtual street is she caught Jim coming home at 4 a.m. 3 nights in a row with glitter on his neck and no explanation, but I was at the studio. Sir, which studio? The Sparkle Room on 145th. The tea boiling now is so hot, it's steaming up the internet's edges. Twitter, or should we say X, was in flames after an alleged hairstylist from Miami posted a cryptic tweet saying, "That reality show relationship was faker than the wigs I sew in." Fans immediately clocked it as shade toward Chrissy and Jim. But wait, y'all, the plot gets grimier. A leaked Uber receipt tied to Jim's burner card showed him getting dropped off at a hotel where, wait for it, Chrissy was also staying, but under a different name. Y'all, she was tailing him. She booked the penthouse 2 floors above, documented everything, and allegedly had her assistant accidentally drop off flowers meant for Mr. Jones and guest to the wrong suite. Boom! Chrissy watched it all unfold with binoculars and painkillers. And while Jim was living his best double life, Chrissy was out here living a double agent storyline that would put Olivia Pope to shame. And this is where things get ice cold. Sources close to the production team of their former VH1 show say, Chrissy reached out to producers off the record with an emergency pitch for a spinoff, allegedly titled No Love and Hip Hop, My Escape Plan. The concept: her walking away from Jim with receipts, revenge, and a real estate empire in her name only. Oh, and speaking of names, guess whose legal name got quietly removed from 3 of their joint LLCs last month? Yup, James Jones. And guess who filed the paperwork? A little law firm based in Jersey, known for handling high-profile celebrity breakups with maximum discretion and minimum mercy. And here's where the conspiracy theories start to cook. Fans dug up footage from a Love and Hip Hop reunion where Jim paused just a little too long when asked if he trusted Chrissy with his money. His answer? She holding it down. Think, sir? You think she's been holding your money? Your secrets, and now your future in a manila envelope marked, "Do not test me." Social media detectives wasted no time connecting dots. And now a whole Reddit thread has laid out a timeline that includes cash withdrawals, suspicious jewelry, purchases, and get this, a possible meeting with Kamran in Atlanta just days before the divorce papers were allegedly filed. Yeah, that Kamran. Apparently, Chrissy and Cam were spotted at a private dinner hosted by a music exec who just happened to post a blurry IG story of Chrissy's silhouette at the table. Coincidence or closure? The comment section wasn't having it. One user wrote, "Chrissy ain't meeting Cam for no salmon. She plotting an empire move." Another commented, "If Jim cries on live one more time, I'm sending him tissues and therapy links." Speaking of which, let's talk about the no-infamous live stream meltdown. Jim went live from his car looking disheveled, red-eyed, and surrounded by unopened mail and fast food wrappers. He didn't say much, but what he did say echoed like a ghost in a haunted hallway. "She ain't say nothin'. She just left. Hey, and she took the dog." Y'all, not the dog. In what universe does a woman leave a man after 2 decades, take the LLCs and the Labradoodle, and vanish without a goodbye? In Chrissy's universe, apparently, fans went ballistic. Memes flooded the timeline, one showing Jim holding a leash and crying with the caption, "When she takes the business and the barks." Meanwhile, Jim's mama, Nancy aka Mama Jones, allegedly found out the news from the live. And let's just say, she didn't take it quietly. Rumors say she went straight to Facebook Live in a velvet bonnet, shouting, "I told y'all she was sneaky." Sis even tried to call the network demanding they stop airing reruns of their old episodes because it's all lies now. But wait, what sent the internet into cardiac arrest was the alleged burner voicemail that leaked the next day. Grainy audio clip hit the blogs where Chrissy's voice can be heard saying, "You'll know what real betrayal feels like when everything you love walks out the door without a sound." Bloggers are already calling it the silent snipe heard round Harlem. Fans are speculating this might be a teaser for a tell-all interview. She's reportedly shopping to a major network. With a working title, Built a Man, broke a myth. Imagine that Chrissy sitting on a cream couch, sipping wine, and reading Jim's emotional downfall like a bedtime story. Insiders say she's already spoken with producers from Zone and Netflix. And y'all know when Netflix gets involved, it's game over for Damage Control. Word is, Jim's PR team is panicking and pulling together a sympathy tour, trying to land him a spot on The Breakfast Club or Red Table Talk to explain his side before Chrissy beats him to the narrative. But judging by how calculated she's been, Chrissy's not just playing chess, she's flipping the whole board, gluing the pieces down and walking off with the timer. What's worse? Insiders say there's one final bombshell in her vault. An alleged prenup addendum Jim signed back in 2019 after a health scare, which reportedly gives Chrissy control of all his shares in a certain real estate project if they separate. And guess what? That separation clock just started ticking. And if you thought Chrissy was done, oh no, baby, that was just her soft launch. Because what came next made Harlem's sidewalks shake. Late one night, with no warning, a slick little promo clip popped up on a verified network producer's story. Quickly deleted, but not before the internet snatched it and ran wild. A silhouetted woman in heels, walking away from a flaming pile of roses while a voiceover whispers, "Sometimes you have to burn the past to light up your future." Fans lost their minds. The comments lit up like Times Square. Everyone screaming the same thing. That's Chrissy. That's her. That's the show. And within 24 hours, a leaked episode title started floating online. Chapter 1. The Lie He Lived In. If that's not a verbal punch to the ego, I don't know what is. Meanwhile, Jim was still on Damage Control, posting old clips of them laughing together like a digital time machine could fix 18 years of emotional back taxes. The man even uploaded a song snippet where he raps about losing his soulmate and sleeping in the same bed with regret. It would have been cute if it wasn't so 2 decades too late. And here's the real gut punch. Turns out, Chrissy wasn't just stacking emotional receipts. She was also working on a secret property deal in Miami under a trust name. How do we know? 'Cause a nosy fan who works at a luxury high-rise recognized her name during final paperwork filings and decided to bless the internet with a grainy pic of Chrissy posing on a balcony with a glass of champagne and zero remorse. The caption: "New beginnings, better views." Ouch. Not only is sis moving on, she's leveling up. And she's doing it with the kind of grace that says, "I'm not broken. I'm just bored of being silent." Sources say the property was purchased with a mix of equity pulled from one of her fashion investments and funds from a private buyer, who may or may not be the same mystery man she was seen dining with in the south of France earlier this year. Yep, there's a man, allegedly, and baby. The man ain't hiding. Because within days, a new picture popped up online showing Chrissy at a gallery opening, standing beside a tall, bald gentleman in a tailored cream suit with his hand resting comfortably on the small of her back. Internet sleuths went into forensic mode. Turns out the guy is a former record label exec turned venture capitalist, divorced, no kids, and worth over $30 million. Let that sink in. While Jim's crying in a Crown Vic with his foot on the gas and no destination, Chrissy's out here securing next chapter's new bags. And a man who probably opens car doors and doesn't disappear for 4 days with no explanation. As if that wasn't enough, a little birdie dropped one more nuclear receipt into the mix. An old friend of Chrissy's leaked a voice note where Chrissy allegedly says, "I begged him to meet me at the altar for years. He kept saying, someday. I stopped asking. Now I don't need to ask anyone for anything." That clip alone was enough to ignite another firestorm of debates, with fans arguing whether Jim ever truly loved her or just loved the idea of her loyalty. But let's not forget Mama Jones. She reappeared again, this time on TikTok, ranting that she warned her son and even accused Chrissy of being too smart to be trusted. Too smart? That's wild. Meanwhile, Chrissy hasn't spoken a single word on record. Not one post, not one comment. It's a quiet digital cleanse. No following count, no captions. Just a clean grid with 3 mysterious photos. One of a burning red dress on a hanger, one of a shattered wine glass, okay? And one of her walking alone under streetlights in all black. Fans call it her visual press tour. Executives are calling it genius. Jim, on the other hand, is spiraling. Allegedly, he missed a scheduled studio session after reports say he was too emotionally unstable to record. One producer said he kept replaying old voicemails Chrissy left him years ago and muttering, "She ain't really gone." But she is, and it's not just physical. It's spiritual, emotional, financial. She's not just leaving the man, she's leaving the myth of the relationship. She's shedding a storyline she carried for 18 years without a ring, a child, or the respect she begged for. And now, in the cold quiet of her absence, Jim is left with nothing but echoes. The house feels empty. The fans have flipped. And the brand he once built on being the street smart, a hustler who had the ride-or-die woman by his side, has officially crumbled. And if Chrissy really does sit down for that rumored one-on-one interview next month, it's over. Because insiders say the network already filmed the trailer. In it, she's wearing white, symbolic, reborn. And the only thing she says to the camera, "This time, I saved myself." Cut to black. And just like that, the legend of Jim and Chrissy became a cautionary tale. A saga of wasted time, unspoken resentment, and a woman who finally realized her love didn't have to be loud to be powerful. She just had to let go. And baby, she let go with grace, vengeance, and designer heels. Hugh, if that didn't leave your jaw on the floor, I don't know what will. I mean, seriously, 18 years. No ring, no real closure. And now Chrissy's walking away like the final scene of a movie we didn't even know was in production. Jim's crying on live. Fans are piecing together clues like it's a true crime documentary, and Chrissy, she's just out here sipping champagne on balconies, making power moves in silence. But now it's your turn to sound off. Do you think Chrissy waited too long to leave? Or was this the ultimate power play one that left Jim exactly where he had her for years? Guessing, hoping, and stuck in the past. Was this karma or just long overdue self-respect? Drop your thoughts in the comments because, baby, this drama is far from over and we're watching every second unfold. And if you want more deep dives, leaked voice notes, and behind-the-scenes tea that mainstream media won't touch, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Because if Chrissy just flipped the script, then best believe someone else is about to get exposed. Stay tuned, fam.